Dude, I just had this talk about rich guys and their strange preoccupations, like super rich guy
Are you
preoccupations.
talking about us or about other people?
Well, I mean, this restaurant, pretty nice. I'm talking like your Bezoses and your James Camerons. You know, these are the guys, one's going up, one's going down.
Yeah.
I just did the craziest gig and I can just say it now. I got this gig that was my buddy who was just like, hey, this hedge fund or this VC fund in San Francisco wants you guys to come up and do some comedy. Sure, why not? Whatever. Get the invitation. It's for 40 people. It's at the top of like the tallest building in San Francisco. And it's for like the 40 biggest change makers in Silicon Valley.
Oh boy.
And like no media, you know, basically like 40 guys sitting around.
Yeah.
And then these two guys are going to get up and do some improv. And
this is very similar to what I just did last week.
Dude, we get in there. It's Zuckerberg, Sam Altman, Vincent Wong, or I don't know how you say his name, the CEO of NVIDIA, several Nobel Prize winners.
Oh, my God.
And we got the thing.
Oh,
and
my God.
It truly was like, you know, Zuckerberg and Altman will have a conversation for 45 minutes about the future of synthetic life, followed by a 20-minute improv show. Dude, I was just like, this could not be weirder.
Was it on stage at least?
Of course not.
No.
Of course not. We were in what looked like Bruce Wayne's like library. Like went up a private elevator into 100th floor, opens up, and it was like a private bar in the corner, but it was like it was a think tank, I think, all wood paneled. And then it was 40 people kind of scattered about in chairs. You know, my main man, it's like Chris Sacca was there, you know, from like Shark Tank. And they're all kind of scattered about. And then the world's biggest, weirdest planter, like a 3-foot tall planter, and then us in front of giant windows, just being like, all right, folks, gonna do a little improv. And we talked about, we're like, we just have to do crowd work or something at the top just to kind of like get them involved. And then we'll do 10 minutes of crowd work.
Right.
And then we'll do 20 minutes of like scenes based on whatever they said. And it was really funny because my buddy goes, we're talking to, I think it was like Paul Tudor Jones was there, you know?
Yeah. I'm friends with him.
Yeah. Great guy.
I really am.
Really?
Yeah.
He was there. Tell him I said hi. Ask him if he stayed for the improv. He's like,
so
hell no. He was there, and I think like, you know, my friend doing some crowd work with some guy, and he's like, you know, what do you do in your spare time? And he's like, well, I paint. And he's like, oh, cool, painting. We ask a few questions, and then you just switch into comedy mode where you go to the woman sitting next to him, and my friend goes, and so are you two here together?
Oh no.
Immediately realize, like, of course they're not. You know, of course they're in this weird thing, you know. And they both kind of like go like, and he goes, no, she won the Nobel Prize in chemistry. And immediately we have to be like, oh yeah, of course. Yep, you're probably not his date. And then, you know, we had to be like, and so what's going on with chemistry? You know, it's so insane. What was your gig?
How did it go at the end?
You know what? It crushed. Like
It
the
did?
improv crushed. And it was, but then I got super scared because I was like, dude, they all were like coming up to us afterwards and being like, so how do you do that?
Yeah, it's magic.
You know, like you made up all that? You didn't, you know, and it was like, yeah, you know, when you do it for one, you just kind of do it. And then I was like, are they trying to like hack? You know, just be like, guys, I have an idea. How do we figure out an AI that can do that? You know,
Right.
And I did have that moment of like, surely they're not going to disrupt improv because it's the one thing after, you know, puppeteering and poetry that's never going to make you a living. But like, it really was that weird thing of just like having people ask super specific questions of like, so when you said this and he said that, how did you come back to this?
Whoa.
And it just seemed very Silicon Valley-y, you know, very wild.
That's amazing.
A weird gig.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
That is an insane room.
An insane room. An insane
God.
room. And then you're just kind of like, all right, see you later. And then hopefully it's like, maybe I'll run into Chris Sacca one day on Shark Tank and be like, what about my Tide Pods? This is a thing, Chris.
Did you get anyone's numbers?
No numbers, but yeah, actually, of all the people I talked to, he was the coolest. I would say Chris Socket was the coolest.
Oh yeah.
Like an actual, like interesting dude that seemed like he was up to cool stuff. And lives in Montana now and really into climate change technologies to help save the planet and stuff like that.
Jeez.
But yeah, a bizarre moment when
that is amazing.
Where you're like, and I guess like we have to give ourselves credit, right? Of like being like, yeah, they can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that I would be like, when it comes to this,
this is my thing.
This is my thing.
Yeah.
Your thing is making $1 billion or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, it's the same thing with stand up, I'm sure, where you're just like, yeah, at least this, you know, this is a very specific skill and that's why you get to do it. You know?
Yeah. Oh,
what
God.
a weird thing.
It is so weird because I always catch myself in these moments, like in those situations where you're pretty much the same age as a lot of those guys.
Absolutely. And
you know what I
kind
mean?
of like, what choices did I make? Where did I?
Yeah, like why? How did?
Wait, can I still do this? Is it possible? Or am I? Like I'm kind of locked in. Okay.
You made Facebook.
You made Facebook. Okay.
Wow.
Cool. I got a couple ideas. You know.
It is amazing.
What was the gig you did that was like? Was it a similar thing, like money people, like investors or something?
Yeah, it was lawyers. And it was in this weird WeWork space. And it was like real successful guy brings me in. He just wanted to add comedy to it.
Yeah.
And there were no chairs. And there was 20 guys.
Yes.
Not one woman. And they're all just drinking beer and eating Chick-fil-A.
Yep.
Kind of like, you know.
Oh, they are just like us.
Just be, trying to be like us.
Yeah.
And and now I'm standing among them.
Yeah.
And now, or we're all going to stop you talking, and he's going to talk now.
Yeah. And they don't get the, like, how to set somebody up.
Whoa, you want to hear my intro?
Yeah.
The intro was hilarious.
Yeah.
Super nice guy.
Yeah.
I ended up hanging with them, you know, for a while after.
They mean well.
And yeah, he was completely into it. But his intro, he never intros comedy. He said, I love this guy. I love this guy, Tom Papa, and I've known him from these podcasts and whatever. And I figured it'd be good to have comedy tonight. And then I was like, when they brought up his name, and I was like, Tom Papa isn't he too big to do this? And apparently he's not.
That's a pretty good joke. Yeah.
He wasn't joking.
Yeah.
He went, I'm going to shut up now.
And then kind of like quickly walked up.
Handed me the mic.
Thanks so much, Alan.